Coming up on AgweekTV, working on solving the problem of Dicamba drift at the annual Wild World of Weeds conference.
We'll look at the policy priorities for corn growers here at the South Dakota Corn Annual Meeting.
What's next for precision agriculture? Presenters at this year's Precision Ag Summit suggest it's changes in data management.
Welcome to AgweekTV. I'm Rose Dunn. Dicamba drift was a big problem for some farmers during the 2017 growing season. It caused soybean leaves to curl, and it was especially bad in southeast North Dakota, where there are more soybeans and greater concerns over herbicide-resistant weeds. Yield impacts were hard to pin down because some crops recovered. But as Mikkel Pates found, it continues to be a big concern.
During the 2017 growing season, many soybean growers feared big losses due to dicamba drift. While many crops were saved by timely August rains, it's an ongoing problem that researchers are working to solve.
We need a glorious Weeds Day.
And was a big topic at the 20th Annual Wild World of Weeds Conference in Fargo. Organizer Rich Zollinger says dicamba manufacturers still have to answer many questions about the herbicide, including how it reacts in drought conditions.
I look at industry, extension, consultants. I look at us as talking the same message, and the point is to educate the user of the technology.
For one thing, Zollinger recommends a June 20 application cutoff, not the June 30 cutoff on a state label imposed by North Dakota Ag Commissioner Doug Goring.
Because after that is when you're more likely to cause serious injury to soybean. If you can make your application before that date, then life will probably be good.
The big question for growers is to figure out how to predict yield damage. Tom Peters, an NDSU and U of M Extension sugar beet specialist, formerly worked for Monsanto developing herbicide-resistant crop technology. He says that science is done with integrity, but the industry will still have to sort out the volatility to keep technology viable.
It's going to take collaboration in order to sort out what exactly is occurring so that we can get to the next step, and that's crop safety, not only to the individual that's applying the product, but to neighboring fields. We don't want to harm any fields. That has to be the goal.
With another growing season fast approaching, both growers and scientists are hoping to find some answers. In Fargo, this is Mikkel Pates for Ag Week.
About 300 agronomy consultants, farmers, and industry specialists took part in this event. More farmers need to join a farm data management system for it to be fully useful. That was the message from the keynote speaker at the Precision Ag Summit in Jamestown. Terry Griffin says a system needs to have a critical mass of data for it to become so important to farmers they feel they must join. Griffin is a cropping systems economist at Kansas State University. He says the first precision ag tools to become popular with farmers were things that made life easier, like automated guidance and automatic section control. Going forward, he sees more data flowing to the cloud, and farmers will join when they see a benefit.
Now, I compare this to telephones. The first telephone had very little value. The second and third one had very little value. The value came when there was enough telephones in the system that, well, we needed a phone book because all the telephones. Same idea here. When there's that many farm acres in the system, we're talking about millions of acres, then the tipping point will occur.
Griffin also moderated a farmer panel about how they use precision ag technologies and their predictions for the future of precision ag. Jenny Schlecht has much more on this subject in the next issue of Ag Week magazine. Farm Bureau delegates have voted to push for changes in how acres are deemed wetlands. Farmer leaders from North and South Dakota helped push for the change because they say the current system is costing them viable cropland. Spencer Chase has more from Nashville.
Delegates of the American Farm Bureau Federation recently met to discuss changes to their policy book heading into Farm Bill deliberations. Among the changes delegates approved, one dealt with wetland determinations and USDA swamp buster provisions. South Dakota Farm Bureau President Scott Vanderwall says it was a necessary change.
Admittedly, swamp buster is not being regulated the way Congress intended it to, we feel. This is a policy that our members have put in place to bring us to the table with Congress, with policymakers, with wildlife groups, to try to get closer to the way swamp buster was intended to work.
Delegates approved language giving Farm Bureau authorization to pursue certain changes to swamp buster provisions. North Dakota Farm Bureau President Darrell Lee says changes are needed to prevent viable crop ground from being declared a wetland.
Well, this wetland holds water sometimes less than a couple weeks, maybe not even a week. But if it's holding that water at the right time and the images are taken with it holding water, it gets classified a wetland, which eliminates the ability to manage water to keep that soil healthy.
If negotiations to change Swamp Buster provisions don't yield results, Farm Bureau delegates voted to allow the group to push for the decoupling of conservation compliance from crop insurance, a change made in the 2014 Farm Bill. While that might cause heartburn in the environmental community, Farm Bureau President Zippy Duvall says the organization still supports conservation compliance.
And those things that are spelled out in that new policy gives us some areas to work towards. And of course, if we don't make some progress in that area, we may have that conversation again next year about whether or not we do stay with that. But our policy still is that we support conservation compliance.
Reporting from Nashville, I'm Spencer Chase.
After the break on AgweekTV.
The Soil Health Minute is back on AgweekTV monthly and then every other week starting in May. And don't forget to come see me at the Corn and Soybean Expo on February 13th at the Fargo Dome.
Get ready for the first annual Northern Corn and Soybean Expo. This one-day-only event features speaker Jay Lair and is hosted by Market to Market's Mike Pearson. With a large corn and soybean trade show and breakout education and networking sessions, you can't miss the first annual Corn and Soybean Expo, Tuesday, February 13th, only at the Fargo Dome.
If you get right down to it, what's a farmer's job? Well, farmer's job is to feed people. Farmers collectively, our job is to feed the world. At Peterson Farm Seed, we get to have a little bit bigger picture right in our region. We get to help those farmers that we work with increase their productivity, increase the yields that they get on their farms, and as a result, more people can eat.
Small or large, Superior Grain Equipment has a storage solution for you with a wide variety of bin options and accessories, along with site planning and superior customer service. Plus, from top to bottom, we offer the industry's best bins and warranties to protect your products and your grain storage investment. Get superior quality, protection, and reliability with generations of experience and dependability. Make the superior choice today with Superior Grain Equipment. Ask about our winter discounts available now.
Intelligent farming means more crop from every acre. That starts with smart machines and precision application. Introducing the new Rogator C-Series from Challenger, featuring a newer, smarter, more precise way to apply fertilizers and nutrients, more accurately and more efficiently than ever before, resulting in less overlap and less crop damage, all to make you more productive and more profitable. To find out more, contact Butler Machinery today.
Make every minute of the growing season count. Schedule your equipment for a genuine Case IH parts and service uptime inspection at Titan Machinery. Our professional service technicians have the training and experience to pinpoint and repair problems before they have a chance to shut you down during the season. Avoid the high cost of in-season downtime. Give yourself the peace of mind knowing your equipment is ready to work. Schedule your equipment today by going to uptime18.com or calling your local Titan Machinery dealer. That's Titan Machinery, providing you with genuine Case IH parts and service.
The Ag Week Soil Health Minute is sponsored by the North Dakota Corn Council and the North Dakota Soybean Council.
Catching up at the local cafe is something farmers have done for decades. NDSU Extension Soil Health Specialist Abby Wick is using cafes as a way to connect farmers with a common interest in soil health. We joined her and specialists Kevin Sedovic and Miranda Meehan at the Cafe Talk in Mackville, North Dakota, to find out what farmers are talking about.
Thank you everyone for being here. So I'm guessing most of you have not been to a Cafe Talk before. Basically, it's just an open discussion. Today we have Kevin Sedovic and Miranda Meehan here to talk about grazing and partnerships that can be formed for grazing cover crops.
How long can you graze your cattle when you're out there on, say, barley ground and you've got some good regrowth?
Sometimes I'll run them on a quarter of land and I think I'm good for a month, and
2 weeks later, I'm starting to run out. If we can establish a good cover crop and a good grazing cover crop, is there demand for custom grazing?
What species do we plant for grazing?
I want to pay for my seed by grazing with the cow. And so I'll pick my mix that I know will give me at least a half a ton to a ton. The livestock component that can be added to the cropping systems adds another avenue that we can find ways to improve soil health.
In those rental agreements that you have, you want to make sure that you're laying out how much residue you want left behind so that you're both meeting your objectives.
You really have to watch rye in the spring if you're going to seed soybean or anything into it, because it just, when it goes, it goes. So I would encourage anybody that's using rye in their system to really watch it and make sure that if you're not grazing it, that you terminate it.
Our trial with grazing, we increased aggregate stability by year 2, and it was a significant increase versus not grazing it at all.
Did you put urea down when you seeded it?
A little bit, and it may have been too much, yeah.
And then what were you putting in after winter wheat or barley?
Radishes and turnips, basically.
I won't recommend a turnip in a mix unless you have cattle, because a radish will do the same thing, and I feel more reliably that the radish will winter kill.
Someone said something to the effect of you don't need as much water when you're grazing a cover crop versus a rangeland grass.
Their water intake will go down by 50 to 75%.
To see this many people here interested in this topic, or interested in general in soil health, makes me want to do more programming in this area.
The Cafe Talks are funded by the North Dakota Soybean and Corn Councils along with the North Dakota Wheat Commission. For more information, check out the NDSU Soil Health website. Despite low corn prices, corn growers are coming off a successful year for policy and growth in renewable fuels. That was the message industry leaders shared at the South Dakota Corn Growers Association annual meeting. Michelle Rook was in Sioux Falls to talk to industry experts about their outlook.
Trade policy and growth in the renewable fuels industry drove the program and discussions here at the South Dakota Corn annual meeting. Growth Energy's Emily Score detailed their success in building the infrastructure to sell higher ethanol blends through their Prime the Pump campaign.
The past year, we doubled the amount of gas stations that are selling E15. We're now at over 1,300 gas stations in 29 states.
The ethanol industry is also working with automakers to promote higher blends.
It's an approach that we are taking with the automakers to try to figure out what octane do they want and what ethanol level in the fuel does that lead us to.
Mike Dwyer with the U.S. Grains Council says ethanol exports were also a record in 2017. The top market was Brazil, followed by Canada.
It was a great year. In fact, it surprised all of us. 1.37 billion gallons. That's an awful lot of corn, roughly about 500 million bushels.
And Farm Bureau's Pat Wolf says farmers achieved another policy win in 2017 with tax reform.
The tax bill that just passed should lower effective taxes for almost all farmers and ranchers.
She says Congress is also working to fix Section 199A so it doesn't distort the market by providing an advantage for farmers that sell grain to cooperatives. In Sioux Falls, I'm Michelle Rook reporting for Ag Week.
We seem to be past the worst of the cold. Your agri-weather forecast is next, and later we'll have a sneak preview of the Northern Corn and Soybean Expo.
I'm 120, 130, 130, 55, once around the block, 212, 5 right here, now having time's up. So
if you're thinking about selling a piece of land, or you're looking to sell some farm equipment, or if you're thinking about a retirement or involved in an estate, give us a call. We'll sit down and tell you all about the Steffes way. We think it's a good way. That's how we approach it. If any of those are in your plans, give us a call or go to steffesgroup.com. Learn all about us. Hope to hear from you.
Luckin Trucks and Parts sells quality used parts for all makes and models. With over 50 acres of trucks and parts and new inventory arriving daily. Family owned and operated since 1966, Luckin's specializes in the sale of quality used medium to heavy duty truck parts as well as pre-owned trucks, trailers, and construction equipment. If it's on a truck, we got it. Call us today and let us get you your part.
Dream of building a new home, garage, shop, barn, or commercial space? What if you could create your ideal building for less than you ever imagined? Want to build a cabin in the woods, a workshop, storage space? Then call your Hanson personal building designer now, and we'll include professionally engineered, sealed plans to your new building absolutely free. Save up to thousands of dollars. Build your ideal dream for less than you ever imagined. Call now.
Martinson Ag Risk Management offers a variety of crop marketing and crop insurance packages to our customers. With over 40 years of experience, our dedicated staff works hard to ensure you get the best advice on crop insurance, marketing, and risk management. Contact Randy or any of the staff at Martinson Ag Risk Management today at 701-205-4200 or visit us online at martinsonag.com.
American Farm Equipment offers you the most effective, reliable, and simple-to-run grain dryers. Deluxe grain dryers with Moisture Link Plus G2 control panels give you the most accurate moisture and temperature readings, making it easy for you. You can monitor remotely with your cell phone, iPad, or computer. Guy Kittleson with American Farm Equipment installs deluxe grain dryers, and if needed, Guy can access your grain dryer remotely, saving you time and money. Call Guy Kittleson at American Farm Equipment today.
Weather portion of Ag Week now. The month of February approaches and it promises some new changes. For one thing, cold weather will be coming back in, but I don't know how long it's going to last. My suspicion is it'll be a lot of back and forth like what we've been having throughout the winter. Snow chances may be going up because the pattern will have a bit of a difference. I'll explain that. And I do expect for the rest of February and perhaps into March, even more variability than what we've seen lately. We'll get cold, we'll get warm, and those will present some opportunities for precipitation. Here's the approximate jet stream pattern and the overall temperature pattern going back to the middle of last week because it was really cold in Alaska. We're getting some reports of some minus 50 and even near minus 60 temperatures. Well, watch what's happened in the meantime. Jet stream has shifted, that cold air beginning to come southward. We get a glancing blow at it this weekend. Then it warms up, and then it comes back again. By the end of this week, he'll have some pretty cold weather dropping into the northern plains, but the jet is not going as far south as it did back during late December and early January, so we're not expecting that kind of cross-polar flow that delivered some record cold to some part of the country. That also means the pattern may be a little bit wetter than it has been the last few weeks. As far as this week goes, a little touch of cold this weekend. That'll warm up a bit by Tuesday. Cold weather will come back. That also will be fairly brief. There will be some pretty cold weather, I think, late this week, maybe even touching on some Arctic sub-zero type cold. But as you can see, with the jet coming out of the northwest, over the next couple of weeks, it's just going to go back and forth. The second week, after the Super Bowl, it looks like we'll moderate a little bit, and that's going to be kind of the theme of things. We get a little very cold weather, then we get a push from the west, and it moderates a little bit. Precipitation, in the short term, not much this week. This is probably going to turn out to be just northern plains flurries, but later in the week, there will be some chances of snow. I think a pretty major storm will set up out of the southwest up into the middle west with rain, freezing rain, and snow. By the end of the week, that'll be working through the eastern seaboard. And then with this fast flow coming out of the northwest, we're likely to have several snow chances through the northern plains and the upper Midwest, maybe 2 or 3 in the course of a week to 10 days. And then we're probably going to see that mild weather coming in late. So it's a complicated pattern. Definitely colder overall than it's been the last week or two here in the northern plains, but we got some snow chances moving in, especially as we get into February. I suspect that the Dakotas, Minnesota, Iowa, and much of the upper Midwest will be getting more snow in February overall than they did in January, but greater variability means it may be melting at times.
Get ready for the first annual Northern Corn and Soybean Expo, Tuesday, February 13th, only at the Fargo Dome.
Field Drainage Inc. has perfected the art of agricultural drainage by helping hundreds of farmers since 1978. We are a second-generation family-owned business for over 35 years. The Field Drainage Inc. team will work closely with you to conduct a thorough analysis of your needs and expectations, provide an estimate that fits your budget, perform all work in a timely and professional manner, and provide continued service after installation. Field Drainage Inc., your trusted drain tile installation company for over 35 years.
Micro Essentials is a unique product in the sense where it's a homogenized product that has 4 nutrients in every single granule. What makes it different than other products that are out in the country? So it has 4 different nutrients: nitrogen, phosphorus, sulfur, which is 2 forms of sulfur, and zinc in every granule. We're seeing multiple things. We have sulfate sulfur and elemental sulfur. The sulfate sulfur, we get the bulk of the use of it the first year. The elemental breaks down over time. I've had farmers come up to me and tell me that they not only see the benefit the first year in higher yield or higher quality, but they're seeing it in consecutive years. So it's a huge benefit for the grower to use it on a consecutive basis. Our overall goal is to increase our farmers' yields and help them produce a higher quality and higher yielding crop. It's giving them the opportunity to get more nutrients in one. It makes sense agronomically, it makes sense economically.
This is Dennis Belisky reminding you we do auctions and we do them well. You've built your operation with hard work, and when it's time to sell, all or part, you deserve the best. Details from repairs and preparation to promotion and settlements are not routine. Chances are you'll only do this once, so we'll tailor an auction just for you and get it done right. On site at your farm or added to one of our highly successful Alaris Center auctions, we have the skill, reputation, and integrity to meet your needs with best-in-class commitment and quality service. Find us at resourceauction.com or call 701-757-4015.
Get ready for the first annual Northern Corn and Soybean Expo, Tuesday, February 13th, only at the Fargo Dome.
AgweekTV Soy Insight, brought to you by the North Dakota Soybean Council.
A couple of big annual events are joining forces this year. Shauna Olson has more with the organizers of the new Northern Corn and Soy Expo.
And joining us now are the co-chairs of the Expo. We have Ryan Wanzik and Matt Gass. Thanks for joining us today. You guys have been planning this Expo for a long time. Tell us about that, Matt.
Yeah, it used to be a one day was corn and one day was soybeans. And it just got to be a long couple days for people to get to Fargo for 2 events that were day long. So we went together and combined it to a one-day event. And it used to be at the Holiday Inn. Now the new event will be at the Fargo Dome.
Tell us about some of the speakers we can find that day.
Yeah, we have Dr. Jay Lair, who is a science director at the Heartland Institute, and he will be talking about changing trends in agriculture. It's actually bringing more youth back to the farm. And then we also have Mike Pearson, who used to be the host of Market to Market, and he will come in and talk about the trends that are happening with the markets.
And Ryan, there's a trade show, of course. Tell us about that.
Yeah, the trade show in the past has been kind of packed into the exhibition halls at the Holiday Inn, and it was kind of separated. It wasn't all in one room. This year it'll be in the entrance area of the Fargo Dome, so it'll give the exhibitors a lot more interaction with the farmers, and they'll be able to walk more freely and interact with the growers themselves.
And there's also a Farm Bill panel?
Yeah, the Farm Bill is going to be one of the hot topics. There's going to be a representative from all 3 of our congressional leaders there, and this will give the growers and the farmers the opportunity to come and talk directly to their congressional leadership and tell them what they want in this Farm Bill and what they don't want in it.
And thanks to your checkoff dollars, the event is free and pre-registration is highly recommended. You can check that out at ndcorn.org. And there's also free parking at the Dome that day. I see you guys brought your friends, and they want you to bring your friends to the Fargo Dome February 13th for the Northern Corn and Soybean Expo.
Still ahead on Ag Week TV, we'll meet a father-son pair sharing a love for ag off the farm.
Upgrade your trailer to electric with the Rolltech electric system from AgriCover. Strong, flexible pivot arms and motor mount rotate and telescope, allowing the roll tube to rise and flex over heaped loads. The positive automatic lock is impossible to back off to control the flow of grain. This integrated system uses one wireless remote to operate up to 10 tarps and hoppers, keeping your driver out of the dust, rain, and harm's way. See the Rolltech system in action at an AgriCover dealer near you.
We're excited to bring you the new Ag Week app with useful features, the latest news and information. Get your Ag Week news, weather, and the latest episodes of Ag Week TV. Plus, see real-time information on the futures market and view local cash bids for your crops. Stay updated and take Ag Week with you. Download the new Ag Week app today.
TrueFlex land rollers. TrueFlex land rollers are designed with today's farmer in mind. With a 42-inch roller diameter, features include a heavy-duty hinge and wing lock, true roller overlap, 3-inch replaceable roller shafts, hydraulic wing steer, and more. As manufacturers, we can custom build to any size. For questions, call us toll-free or check us out online. TrueFlex Land Rollers, a division of Sprayflex.
Premier Shortline USA is your dealer for Meridian storage and grain handling. 50 years ago, Meridian Manufacturing designed the first smooth wall hopper bin. This innovation set the standard for hopper bins across North America, completely self-cleaning with no obstructions. Smooth wall hopper bins have become the preferred choice for safe and efficient storage. For temporary grain storage to complete systems, contact Nate or Brent at Premier Shortline USA.
Advanced biofuel for America's diesel engines is clean burning and made from renewable sources like soybean oil. Biodiesel fuel works in any diesel engine, reducing emissions, helping us breathe cleaner air. Biodiesel adds value to North Dakota soybeans, creating jobs, improving the environment, increasing our energy independence. Biodiesel, it starts with soybeans, it's fueling America.
Parents and children often work together on farms and ranches, but Jonathan Knutson found a father and son team working together in another segment of the ag economy. Dan Paulson is the 5th generation of his family in the Fosston, Minnesota area and grew up on the family farm before starting a career in banking. And now his son has joined him.
Parents, children, and grandchildren often work together on family farms and ranches. Today, we're visiting with father and son ag bankers.
We always look for someone who is a local connection. That's our number one target, someone who wants to be in the area.
Family is a mighty strong local connection. So Dan Paulson, looking for a new ag banker at American Federal Bank in Fosston, liked the young applicant with the same last name.
It's hard in rural communities, to keep people, and one of the keys is they want to live here, and that was a key too for his lifestyle. This is where he wanted to be.
Dan says Ryan got the job because he was the best applicant. Others in the hiring process agreed. Ryan says he and his father keep work and home separate.
And it helps too with our industry where it has to be so compliant and you can't say much outside, so that helps a little bit. But even so, there's times where we're in a fish house or a deer stand together and it's just us. We could talk about work, but instead we talk about who caught the bigger fish or who's gonna shoot the bigger deer kind of thing. So that's my biggest piece of advice, is just when work is done, work is done.
Same job, same bank, same last name. And yes, the same love for what they do.
You'll never see me throw a snowball at my boss, but on the weekend when he's my dad, he better look out because it's coming at him.
For Ag Week, I'm Jonathan Knutson.
About 1,500 people live in Fosston, which is located on Highway 2, about 70 miles southeast of Grand Forks. Thanks for watching this week's edition of Ag Week TV. Remember, for all your ag news, go to agweek.com and be sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitter as well. See you next week.